The genuine appearance of the beacon in secret. It's portrayed here in extremely old style, working with floors one over the other, with entryways opening into storyteller. Over the long run, thoughts regarding the pharos develop significantly more. One of the creators was talking about the pharos being so tall, thus broadly high, on the off chance that a stone was tossed from the highest point of the beacon, it would arrive at land in 2 days or 3 days. It's false, yet it is expressing something about how storyteller. Where does reality lie? Will the submerged rock blocks give answers? To find out, Isabel's group utilizes a procedure called photogrammetry, catching a great many point-by-point pictures across the tremendous site. This is nearer view here on the guide. This is block 1003. How about we go further? We can go more on the north. Narrator, following 28 weeks of jumping and with 50,000 photos, Isabel has the information she really wants to at last open the mysteries of the Pharoscons. The suffocated remnants of a veritable old marvel, the Pharos beacon exposed back of day without precedent for 600 years, already Isabel's work has conveyed one disclosure. A portion of the blocks from the depleted scene are a significant piece of information to the state of the Pharos. Depleting the site has empowered us to see the lighthouse. We've even found impedes that could have framed the foundations, yet no blocks found submerged showed the walls inclined. The walls were straight. Street. What we have here is a riddle. Fundamentally, it's a 3,000 pieces puzzle that you need to attempt to fit things together. Will it fit or will it not fit? Storyteller, and in addition, a few urgent pieces of the riddle are missing. Taken to exhibition halls by past excavations, but one significant piece lies close by, deserted on the quayside. This was likely the best revelation found on the site. Narrator, yet what is it? Thus, here we have a side piece of a door jamb. We know since here the entryway would have been fixed. Storyteller, this furrow is painstakingly cut as the edge for an immense door, and unimaginably, Isabel can match the casing's unmistakable shape to different stones lying underwater. They should all be pieces from a similar entryway. By joining this gigantic part very nearly 12 meters in length along with the wide range of various fragments. Narrator, presently, interestingly, reproducing the way to the Pharos, the entry to a marvel of the old world is conceivable. So presently we can associate it with the lintels, the upstanding. Awesome. That is perfect. Storyteller, the depleted site uncovers the lost parts of the Goliath doorframe, using the examined pictures of the seabed. Its tremendous blocks materialized. PC realistic innovation turns around the hundreds of years. The bits of the door jamb fit together perfectly, and inside the stone casing an immense wooden entryway was once secured. Every last bit of it arriving at 41 feet high and weighing in excess of 200 tons. The Pharos entrance is re-established where it fell, a great piece of design predominating any individual who enters. For the initial time, a piece of Alexandria's beacon is precisely reproduced. However, what wraps up of the Pharos seem to be? What's more, does it genuinely merit its title as a marvel of the old world? Storyteller, paleontologist Isabel Brissoli keeps on looking for reality with regards to the Pharos lighthouse. Historical reports are clashing. However, most settle on a certain something, that the Pharos has 3 particular levels, each formed differently. Isabel heads to where the beacon is remembered to have stood. Presently the site of one more fantastic structure, Cape Bay Fort, built in 1477, only 42 years after the remnants of the Pharos are last revealed apparent. Storyteller inside, a captivating clue. Isabel accepts that its mosque is a limited-scale imitation of the Pharos. Isabel, you truly get the impression of being in the old beacon despite the fact that the scale isn't something very similar, yet there's this feeling of room, still present, which we can feel surrounding us. Storyteller, the primary pinnacle is square over, it's topped by an octagonal and afterward a roundabout segment. Isabel's hypothesis is that the mosque's designers planned.
So, is the Pharos molded like this? To settle this secret, Isabel needs to contrast her 3D information and verifiable reports and find the genuine size of the Pharos. Some aspects were recorded by middle-aged travelers. In 1166, Al-Balawi from Spain wrote an exact portrayal of the beacon, detailing it to be 300 cubits high. Over a century after the fact, Moroccan researcher Ibn Battuta recorded the thickness of the Pharos walls as 10 spans. Over a century a. The issue is these units are lost to history until now. The advance comes from the Pharos reproduced entryway frame, its outside edge uncovers the specific thickness of the beacon's outside wall. The aspect likewise recorded by Ibn Battuta, hundreds of years earlier, his 10 ranges, is equivalent to 6 feet 10 inches. It's a revelation that is unbelievably fulfilling. We are currently ready to interpret the texts of Ibn Battuta, and the texts of al-Balawi. Narrator, it's an enormous jump forward.
The greatness of Egypt to the world past. It might have seemed to be the primary high-rises worked in Chicago toward the finish of the 19th century. It's actually a fantastic structure. Stephen, the people of old decided the 7 miracles since they met certain criterias, thus the Pharos fulfills those old rules of imaginative plan that was really constructed, that was truly towering. Narrator. In particular, the Pharos denotes the doorway to Old Egypt and the strong stream Nile, more than 4. Sand is quite possibly of the most wonderful revelation made in Egyptian paleontology. Storyteller, the boats he exhumed have been reburied in the sand to assist with saving them for the future. Before then, they'd been lying undisturbed for 5,000 years. Was this the consequence of some extraordinary surge of the waterway that they cruised here and were left abandoned? It's an exceptionally weird setting for a gathering of boats like this. You would think maybe it was an evaporated quay, or it was maybe.
Seriously, uncovering actually is how they're produced using painstakingly created wooden boards generally sewed along with rope. These are the earliest board boats that we have around here. As superficial points of interest, they're important. Narrator, quite a while back, this is state-of-the-art nautical technology. It's practically similar to taking a game's vehicle today and covering it in the desert somewhere. Narrator, and in old Egypt only one individual can bear such a massive investment. Only